In the world of ants, one species reigns supreme as the most fearsome, the killer ants. Scientists have uncovered a remarkable phenomenon within this ant species. Occasionally, these ants voluntarily exile their own comrades from the colony. The reason behind this startling behavior is the transformation of the sacrificed ant into a real-life zombie, all thanks to the infamous zombie ant fungus known as cordyceps. What's even more fascinating, my friends, is that this phenomenon served as the central plot of the 2023 series The Last of Us. This series foresaw a cordyceps fungus-induced zombie apocalypse in 2023. When we delve into the world of parasitic organisms, whether they be bacteria, fungi, protozoa, or viruses, they all have a notorious reputation for switching hosts. Take HIV, for instance. It initially found its origins in non-human primates like apes. However, there was a prevailing belief that the human immune system was stronger than that of apes, and thus immune to harm. Yet, as the 20th century unfolded, it began infecting humans as well, and today, AIDS has become a devastating disease. There's another parasite named Toxoplasma gondii. This parasite used to infect only mice, but according to recently conducted research, it has begun to influence human brains as well. As a result, road accidents have significantly increased. As per scientists, it's estimated that today, a staggering 60% of the human population has already fallen victim to this parasite. Now, let's delve into how this parasite affects humans. First and foremost, this parasite manipulates the brains of mice, causing them to exhibit bizarre behavior. Strangely, infected mice become attracted to the scent of their most formidable predators, cats. And as you can guess, they end up becoming easy prey for these feline hunters. Once this parasite finds its way inside a cat's body, it reproduces there and then exits through the cat's fecal matter. After that, it enters the human body through various means, like contaminated water or infected fruits and vegetables. Once inside a human, it starts infecting their brain cells, gradually taking control of their behavior. Consequently, the host becomes vulnerable to a multitude of dangerous accidents. And this isn't just me saying it. Researchers in Prague conducted a study involving 446 participants, of which nearly 146 were involved in road accidents. In this survey, they detected the levels of Toxoplasma gondii within each participant. The results were nothing short of astonishing. Those who were involved in accidents had significantly higher levels of Toxoplasma compared to the others. When they delved deeper into the data, a clear association emerged. Yes, Toxoplasma was a major contributing factor to their accidents. This is because Toxoplasma-infected individuals have slowed reaction times, making it difficult for them to prevent accidents in a timely manner. Now, I understand that so far we've been talking about parasites that haven't quite mastered the art of controlling our movements. But scientists have stumbled upon parasitic fungi in the fossils of ants, which can do just that. After all, it's turning those ants into living zombies. This cordyceps fungus takes control of its host's movements, transforming them into zombies because its entire life cycle depends on this zombification stage. That's the same life cycle that begins deep within the jungle, where tiny spores lie in wait, poised to pass through any ant's path. As soon as an ant approaches, these spores attach themselves to the ant's skin. Slowly but surely, they dissolve all the protective layers of the ant's skin, much like an acid, creating tiny openings. The fungus spores, one by one, break through the cellular defenses of the unfortunate ant, poking holes into its skin. The spores breach the ant's protective barriers and enter its circulatory system. Once in the ant's hemicole, these spores rapidly begin to multiply. After this multiplication, the cordyceps fungus creates a structure resembling hyphal tubes to connect all its different cells. This structure looks something like this. As scientists conducted in-depth studies, and they discovered that cordyceps fungus does not directly influence the ant's brain. Instead, it controls the ant's movements solely through its hyphal tubes. So, let's dive into how cordyceps fungus manipulates the ant's movements through these hyphal tubes. Take a look at this image. In it, the green structure represents a hyphal tube, while the red represents an ant's muscle. What happens is that this structure, akin to a bridge, stretches and traverses through the ant's body. In this process, it secretes chemicals like sphingosine and guanidinobutyric acid. These chemicals control the ant's motor neurons. As a result, the fungus can, at its discretion, tear apart the ant's muscles and control its movements. In essence, at this stage, the fungus turns the ant into a virtual puppet or hostage within its own body. And this is precisely because, while the ant's brain may remain active, it loses control over its own body movements. Essentially, its body has been hijacked. After this point, cordyceps fungus begins to reveal its true nature. It compels the ant to act against its own will, marching it towards its inevitable demise. Often, the fungus takes control of the ant and leads it to a specific location, usually a leaf positioned about 25 centimeters above the ground, with a temperature ranging from 25 to 30 degrees and humidity at 95%. These conditions are precisely optimal for the growth of the fungus. However, what's intriguing is that the fungus selects a leaf that is conveniently close to the ant colony, ensuring that its spores can spread to other ants as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this fungus compels the ant to climb a leaf, regardless of its own will, and forces it to bite down on the leaf. Then, with the assistance of a chemical known as hypoxanthine, the fungus locks the ant's mandibles shut. Scientifically speaking, this state is referred to as mandibular atrophy, or death grip. At this stage, the ant becomes essentially lifeless, and about 75% of its cells transform into fungal cells. Slowly but surely, the fungus begins to emerge from the ant's head, eventually forming a structure known as a fruiting body. In a span of just about 6 weeks, this structure grows significantly and reaches a certain level of maturity. Once it hits this point, the fungus bursts its bubble, releasing its spores into the surrounding environment. So now, these dormant spores lie in wait on the forest floor, ready to attach themselves to any passing ant. As soon as an ant ventures close, the entire cycle begins anew. The good news, according to scientists, is that this fungus typically doesn't affect warm-blooded creatures like us because our body temperatures are not conducive to its growth. However, researchers warn that due to global warming, some fungi have learned to survive at higher temperatures. Take a look at this example. It suggests that the day might not be far off when these zombie fungi adapt to match our body temperatures and begin infecting us as well. But let's hypothetically assume that this fungus successfully adapts to higher temperatures within the next 10 to 20 years and starts infiltrating our bodies. In such a scenario, our innate immune system would be the first line of defense to detect it. Here's how it works. When macrophages are activated, they convert T helper cells into T17 cells using chemicals like IL-6 and TGF-beta. These T17 cells can swiftly eliminate unidentified cells on site. Obviously, in this video, I can't cover the entire immune system, but I've provided you guys with a generalized perspective. I believe this gives you an understanding of just how complex and capable our immune system is. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for joining me on this journey. And until next time, stay curious, stay amazed, and keep exploring the wonders of science and nature.